Okay, hello everyone watching. Welcome. I'm Mini-Koneko, and I'm super excited for today's live read. So, for our theme today, one-to-one greetings and theme introduction, why 100 years of solitude now? Well, hello. And why this absolutely incredible book right now? First, 100 years of solitude is just timeless, isn't it? Its themes of family, love, war, solitude, and how history seems to just look around, they've always feel relevant. Plus, with the recent Netflix adaptation bringing Mini-Koneko back into the spotlight, there's never been a better time to explore or rediscover the magic of García Márquez's world. It's a book that truly changed literature forever, and its unique blend of reality and fantasy that amazing magic realism offers such a powerful reading experience. Honestly, it's a book that stays with you, and I just can't wait to dive deep into it with all of you today. It's going to be amazing. Okay, let's move on to section 1-2. Author introduction. Who is Gabriel García Márquez? Oh my goodness, where do I even begin? García Márquez. He's an absolute giant of literature. A Colombian author who won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1982, and when you read his work, you totally understand why. He's basically the king of magic realism, that incredible style where fantastical elements feel completely normal within a realistic setting. He masterfully blends myth, history, and imagination. He didn't just write stories, he created entire worlds, vibrant and unforgettable, just like Mini-Koneko in 100 Years of Solitude. He's a true literary magician. Seriously legendary. Alright, moving right along to 1-3. The position of 100 Years of Solitude, its importance in world literature. Oh boy, this is huge. You literally cannot talk about 20th century world literature without talking about 100 Years of Solitude. It's that important. Seriously, this book wasn't just a bestseller, it was a phenomenon. It basically blasted Latin American literature onto the global stage, kickstarting what's known as the Latin American boom. Everyone suddenly wanted to read authors from that part of the world, all thanks to the sheer power and originality of Gabo's masterpiece. Oh, I sang. Yes. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Caspia's dramatically 100 Years of Solitude. It truly feels like the definitive masterpiece, doesn't it? The sheer scope, the unforgettable Buendia family saga spanning generations, the way García Márquez blended reality and fantasy seamlessly with that incredible magic realism, it's just breathtaking. Gets visibly excited, maybe bounces slightly. It completely redefined Latin American literature for the world, and its impact is just, wow. Calling it the greatest? I am totally right there with you. It's a reading experience like no other. Absolutely magnificent, extraordinary things happen so naturally. His writing has this unique power to make the fantastical feel absolutely real. It's just brilliant, and it stays with you long after you've turned the last page. Okay, on to section 2-1. The founding of Mini-Koneko, the beginning of the myth. This part is just epic, like reading a creation story. It all starts with the original José Arcadio Buendia and the incredibly strong Horacio Ayayan. Remember, they had to leave their old town because José Arcadio, well, he killed Prudencio Aguilar, and the poor guy's ghost wouldn't leave them alone. So they set off on this incredible journey through the swampy jungle, searching for a new beginning, away from the sea and their past ghosts. And then, José Arcadio has this amazing dream, a city of mirrors. And boom! Mini-Koneko is founded. It starts as this tiny isolated village, a place literally built out of a dream and sheer determination, cut off from the rest of the world. So cool, right? It's like a whole new world being born. Okay, next up, section 2E2. Makondo's transformation, development, prosperity, and decline. This is where things get wild. Maikondo doesn't stay that sleepy, isolated village forever, oh no. It gets connected to the outside world. First, the gypsies like Malcolmites bring amazing inventions, then the government shows up, and bam! The railroad race. That changes everything. Suddenly there's technology, movies, strangers, and then the banana company. Hurrah! Maikondo explodes with frantic activity and money, but it also brings exploitation and tragedy, like the infamous massacre, and after that, the endless rain, the forgetting, and the slow inevitable slide back into ruin and solitude. It's like watching a whole universe rise and fall. So epic! Okay, now we dive into the heart of the saga with section 3 block, the founders, Jose Arcadio Buendia and Horacio. These two are just legendary. First, Jose Arcadio Buendia. The patriarch. He's this larger and figure, overflowing with imagination and a fierce, almost obsessive curiosity. Remember how he got fascinated by magnets, ice, alchemy, everything the gypsies brought? He's the dreamer, the one who led them to found Maikondo based on his vision. But he also gets lost in his own world, eventually ending up tied to that chestnut tree, talking in Latin. A truly unforgettable character. And then there's Horacio Iharam. Oh, Aisan. Yes. Yes. Exactly. It's one of the most incredible things about the book, right? Hardencio Aguilar's ghost just hanging around. Or Malchoites coming back. They appear so naturally, without any big fuss, just woven into the fabric of everyday life in Maikondo. It's a perfect example of that amazing magic realism. Characters barely bat an eye. And that's such a brilliant point about Mexican literature. You're absolutely right. Thinking about writers like Juan Araujo, especially in Pedro Páramo, where the town is literally populated by murmuring ghosts, there's definitely a shared cultural and literary sensibility there, where the veil between life and death feels much thinner, much more permeable. It creates this incredibly unique, haunting, and utterly captivating atmosphere, doesn't it? I love that connection you made. So insightful. Gets very excited and nods enthusiastically. You know, Aisan, it really makes you think about the role of memory and ancestors in Latin American culture, doesn't it? How the past isn't really past, and spirits feel like active participants. This thin veil between worlds is exactly what makes reading books like 100 Years of Solitude or Ralph's Pedro Páramo such a uniquely immersive and haunting experience. It pulls you so deeply into their specific reality. It's just unforgettable. Okay, let's jump into section 32. Introducing key characters, memorable figures. Oh my goodness, the Buendia family. Where do I even start? There are so many unforgettable characters across the generations. It's like a whirlwind of passion, obsession, and sheer strangeness. Of course, there's the legendary Colonel Aureliano Buendia. The stoic revolutionary who fought countless wars, survived assassination attempts, and spent his later years making tiny golden fish. He's just so iconic, withdrawn but intense. And then you have characters like Rebecca. Remember her? The mysterious orphan who arrived eating breath and whitewash, reigning the insomnia plague. And our intense love affair. So dramatic. Or how about Remedios the beauty? So stunningly beautiful that men died just looking at her, but completely innocent and detached from the world, eventually just ascending into the sky wrapped in sheets. Yes. See. Every generation has these figures who are just bursting with life, or strangeness, or deep, deep solitude. They are so vivid, you feel like you know them. It's incredible. It's really animated. Okay everyone, let's talk about section 3 Jori, the repetition of names, the meaning behind Aureliano and Jose Arcadayo. This is one of the things that makes reading 100 Years of Solitude so wild, and maybe a little confusing at first, but it's so important. You notice it right away, don't you? There are just so many Aurelianos and Jose Arcadayos. It's like the family is stuck in a loop. And the incredible Yarisola, she even figures out a pattern. Gets super focused and leans in. She realizes that the Aurelianos tend to be the withdrawn, thoughtful, often revolutionary types, capable of great insight but also deep solitude. Think Colonel Aureliano Buendia making his little goldfishes. While the Jose Arcadayos are usually the impulsive ones, physically imposing, driven by immense appetites and often meeting tragic, dramatic ends. This constant repetition isn't just comfy, it's Garcia Márquez being brilliant. It emphasizes that theme of cyclical time, how history and family traits seem to repeat, almost like a predetermined destiny hanging over the Buendias. It makes you wonder if they can ever escape their own history, their own names. It's fascinating. Pure genius. Notice enthusiastically. Okay, let's dive into section 4 John. What is magic realism? The fusion of reality and fantasy. This is so key to understanding 100 Years of Solitude. It's basically when magical, fantastical things happen in an otherwise totally realistic story, but then this is the super cool part, nobody in the story really questions it. Gets excited, it's treated as completely normal. Like ghosts appearing, people ascending to heaven, or yellow butterflies constantly surrounding someone. It's all just part of the reality of Meikando. It's not presented as weird or shock, it's just how things are. Garcia Márquez masterfully blends the ordinary and the extraordinary until you can't tell where one ends and the other begins. It creates this incredibly unique and enchanting atmosphere. So amazing! Okay, let's get into the really fun stuff with section 42. Symbolic magic in the work, yellow butterflies, flying carpets, insomnia plague, etc. Oh my gosh, these moments are just so iconic and beautiful. You absolutely need to talk about them. Like the yellow butterflies. Remember how they always follow Mauricio Babilonia? Mini-Konekoの本紹介チャンネルさん。わあ、すごく良い質問ですね。はい、もちろんです。マジックリアリズムといえばもうラテンアメリカ文学って感じですけど、実は世界中のいろんな文学で見られるんですよ。例えば、日本の村上春樹さんの作品とか、インド出身のサルマン・ラシディさん、アメリカのトニー・モリスーさん、イギリスのアンジェラ・カーターさんなんかの作品にも、現実と幻想が自然に溶け込む素敵な描写があるんだ。地域を超えて、いろんな作家さんがこの手法を使っているって、すごく面白い。文学の可能性って無限大。Mini-Konekoの本紹介チャンネルさん、そうなんです。面白いですよね。マジックリアリズムってラテンアメリカの風土や歴史と強く結びついてるイメージがありますけど、春樹、村上さんの小説みたいに日本の作品でもすごく自然に描かれていて、なんだか親近感が湧きますよね。もしかしたら私たちの日常って思っているよりもずっと不思議なことや説明できないような出来事で満ちているのかもしれないなって マジックリアリズムを読むと、普段見過ごしているかもしれない世界の別の側面をふと感じさせてくれる気がするんです。猫が話したり、空から魚が降ってきたり、そういうのがありえない。じゃなくて、もしかしたら、って思えるあの感覚がたまらない。だから世界中で愛されるのかもしれないですね。Okay everyone, and especially some. Let's dive into section 5.2, exploring central themes solitude, the solitude in the title, the destiny flowing through the family. It's right there in the title, isn't it? 100 years of solitude. It's not just a word, it's like the defining characteristic, the inescapable fate weaving through the Biondia family for generations. This isn't just about being alone sometimes, you know. It's this profound, deep-seated isolation that traps so many of them, even when they're surrounded by family or in positions of power. Aisan. That's a super interesting question. Yes. While the term magical realism really took off with Latin American writers in the 20th century, you can totally find similar vibes in much older works. Think about it. Myths, folktales, and religious texts from all over the world often blend the supernatural and the everyday supernaturally, right? Goddess interacting with mortals, fantastical transformations, it's presented as just part of how the world works in those stories. And some people see the cause of it in writers like Kafka. Waking up as a giant insect in the metamorphosis is presented so matter-of-factly. So yeah, while the specific style and term are newer, the idea of weaving the magical into the real without making a big deal about it, that has definitely been around for a long time in storytelling. Isn't literature fascinating? Kids a thoughtful look, then beams excitedly. You know, Aisan, thinking about it like that makes reading those older stories, like myths or even Kafka's The Metamorphosis, feel so fresh. It really shows how humans have always been fascinated by that blend of the ordinary and the extraordinary, right? It's like a fundamental way we tell stories and understand the world, finding that touch of magic woven into reality, connecting us to storytellers from centuries ago. It's just amazing. Notice enthusiastically. Okay, let's delve deeper into solitude with section 5.2. Various forms of solitude, the solitude of the powerful, the unloved, the misunderstood. Because, Kisan, solitude in 100 years of solitude isn't just one flavor, it's a whole complex spectrum. You have the solitude of power, like Kanoa Araya no Biondia. All those wars, all that authority, but it just isolates him more, pushing love away until he's alone with his little goldfishes, or Rakadeo, when he becomes a dictator and Meikando power corrupts and isolates him completely. Then there's the heartbreaking solitude of the unloved, or those who feel unloved. Think of Amaranta, consumed by bitterness and rivalry, pushing away love and dying alone and virgin, or Fernanda del Carpio, clinging to a rigid outdated ways, totally alienated from our family and Makano's reality, so sad. And finally, the solitude of the misunderstood. Remedios the beauty is a perfect example. Her otherworldly innocence and beauty set her apart, making her completely unable to connect with the world's desires or expectations. Even Jose Arcadio Segundo, haunted by the massacre that everyone else denies, experiences a profound solitude of truth. See, Garcia Márquez shows us that solitude has many faces, stemming from power, lack of love, fear, misunderstanding, or even just the sheer weight of destiny. It's explored so deeply. Just brilliant. Notice emphatically. Done. Moving on to section 601, cyclic type, repeating history and events. This is another huge theme in 100 Years of Solitude. Time in Mini-Koneko doesn't just move forward in a straight line, does it? It feels like it loops, it spirals, it repeats itself. It's wild. Remember the repeated names we talked about? That's a big part of it. The Aurelianos and Jose Arcadeos seem doomed to echo the lives and fates of their ancestors. Wars break out, inventions are rediscovered as if for the first time, love affairs mirror past ones, and the same patterns of solitude and ambition keep cropping up. It's like the Buendias are stuck in this giant, beautiful, tragic cycle, trying to break free but maybe destined to repeat the past. Irishua senses it too, that feeling that time isn't passing but just turning in a circle. It gives the whole novel the aesthetic, almost mythical quality. Incredible! Wing is forward with wide eyes. Alright, get on, let's tackle section 602, History and Memory, the Banana Company Massacre and the Forgotten Truth. Oh, this part. It's so powerful and chilling. It really hits hard. This section deals with how major historical events, particularly traumatic ones, are treated within Mini-Koneko and by extension, maybe in real history too. The absolute peak of this is the Banana Company Massacre. Thousands of striking workers are gunned down by the army, their bodies dumped into the sea. It's a horrific, pivotal moment. What happens next? It's officially denied. Erased. Everyone is told it never happened, and gradually, almost everyone forgets or chooses to forget. Only Jose Arcadeos Aguano remembers, carrying the terrible burden of truth in a world of collective amnesia. It's such a stunning commentary on how history can be manipulated, how truth can be buried, and the profound solitude that comes with remembering what others deny. Well, it's truly unforgettable storytelling. It's very serious and intense. Sumimasen. Okay, Aisan and everyone watching. Let's get into section 71, Uninhibited Love and Desire, the passion of the Buendia family. Oh boy, if there's one thing the Buendias aren't short on, it's passion. Their lives are overflowing with intense love affairs, consuming desires, and sometimes outright chaotic relationships. It's like they feel everything amplified. Think about the original Jose Arcadio Bonia's boundless curiosity or the first Jose Arcadio's sheer physical presence and his whirlwind romance with Pilar Ternera, and later Rebecca. Or Cano Aurelio no Buendia fathering 17 sons with 17 different women during his revolutionary campaigns. And let's not forget Bonia's tragic, forbidden love affair with Mauricio Babilonia, followed by those yellow butterflies. Their passions are often overwhelming, leading to both incredible moments of connection and devastating heartbreak. They love fiercely, desire intensely, and often defy convention, making their stories so incredibly vibrant and, let's be honest, sometimes scandalous. It's a raw, powerful force driving so much of the narrative. So captivating. Weinison, speaking with fervor. Okay, listen, now for section 702, the motif of incastate, taboo and its outcome. This is a really intense and central part of the Buendia family's destiny. Right from the start, there's this deep fear hanging over them, the prophecy that incestuous relations will lead to a child born with a pig's tail. Ursula is terrified of it. This taboo, this fear, influences so many relationships and choices throughout the generations, and then, at the very end, it happens. The passionate, all-consuming love between Aureliano Babylonia and his aunt, Amarante Ursula. They finally break the taboo, leading to the birth of the child with the pig's tail, fulfilling the prophecy and signaling the absolute, apocalyptic end of the Buendia line, Mini-Koneko itself. It's such a dramatic, devastating conclusion. So powerful. Shake us head and all. Okay, Jisun, let's get into the fascinating details of section 8 blog, alchemy, Michael items, parchment test, ice etc., symbolic items. These objects aren't just props, they are so full of meaning in 100 years of solitude. First, the alchemy. Introduced by the incredible Malquades, it totally consumes the first Jose Arcadio Buendia. It represents that intense, almost obsessive search for knowledge, the blending of the mystical and the scientific, and maybe even the isolation that comes with such pursuits. It sets the stage for the family's grand, often solitary ambitions. Then, oh my goodness, Mikoidon's parchment test. These are huge. Written in Sanskrit, they contain the entire history of the Buendia family, past, present, and future. They sit there for generations, this uncipherable prophecy, symbolizing fate, the inescapable cycles of time, and the idea that the family's story was already written. The moment Aureliano Babylonia finally deciphers them at the end. Cueing literary magic. Chill us. And remember the ice. When Malquades first brings it to Mini-Koneko, it's treated like the greatest marvel in the world. Jose Arcadio Buendia is utterly captivated. It symbolizes the arrival of the outside world, the wonders of modernity hitting the isolated Mini-Koneko, such a simple thing, yet filled with so much wonder and foreshadowing. These items, along with others like the golden fishes or the magnets, aren't just geek. They are powerful symbols that deepen the novel schemes of knowledge, fate, time, modernity, and solitude. Absolutely brilliant. Gesture us emphatically. Mini-Konekoの本紹介チャンネルさん。わかります。ネットフリックス版、私も見ましたけど、本当に良かったですよね。ストーリーがしっかり原作に沿っていて、それでいて映像ならではの豊かさがあって、ゲートアイススーパー EXCITEDANDLENSCLOSERTOTHGCAMERA ホセ・アルカディオ・ブエンジア。彼、めちゃくちゃかっこよかったですよね。もう、マコンドを作り上げる情熱とか、錬金術に没頭する姿とか。若い時の俳優さんも良かったけど、私、に怒ってからの俳優さんもすごく好きだった。存在感。威厳と、ちょっと狂気じみた探求心が入り混じった感じが、まさにホセ・アルカディオ・ブエンディアだ。って思いました。本当にキャスティング最高だったよね。ISSPARKLETALKINGABOUTTHGCHARACTR この子猫の本紹介チャンネルさんね。本当、ホセ・アルカディオ・ブエンディア役の俳優さん素晴らしかったですよね。目の力強さとか探求心に燃える感じがまさに創設者って感じで。あとね、私がネットフリックス版でうってなったのはウルスラ。若い時も素敵だったけど、年を重ねてからのウルスラがもうめちゃくちゃかっこよくて。 どんな困難にも負けない強さ、一家を支える大黒柱感が映像だとさらに伝わってきました。原作だと淡々と書かれている部分も映像でじっくり描かれるとキャラクターの感情とか背景がより深く感じられて、アルカディオとかピエトロ、クレスピのシーンなんかもグッときましたよね。もう一回見返したくなっちゃった。そして原作もまた読み返したいってなります。Okay, Kisan, let's talk about Section 9 Job Reading Tips, how to deal with the complex family tree. This is a super practical one because, let's be real, keeping track of all those biographies can feel like a challenge. Especially with the names Harayano and Jose Arcadillo repeating so much. My biggest tip: don't panic. It's okay if you get a little confused, honestly. It's part of the experience of this sprawling cyclical story. Most editions come with a family tree chart right at the beginning. Use it. Seriously, it's your best friend. Refer back to it whenever you need a quick reminder of who's who. Also, try focusing less on memorizing every single individual and more on the recurring patterns and personality traits associated with the names. That repetition is super important thematically. Just embrace the glorious Beyondia chaos. It's worth it. Holds up hands encouragingly, maybe mimicking looking at a chart. Okay, Aisan and everyone tuned in. Let's talk about Section 9, the cost-cutting feelings, discussing the overwhelming story experience. Okay, finished 100 Years of Solitude? Where do you even begin to process it? It's not just a book you read, it's a world you live in for a while. You get swept away by the sheer scale of it, the generations blurring, the magic feeling totally real, the rise and fall of Mini-Koneko. It's like watching a whole universe bloom and wither. You feel this mix of awe, sadness, wonder, maybe even a bit of confusion, but in the best way possible. It leaves you feeling full. Like you've experienced something truly immense and unforgettable. It's an experience that stays with you long after you turn the last page. Just, wow. Clap his hands together, eyes wide with remembered awe. Okay, Aisan, we're reaching the end. Section 10 what 100 Years of Solitude asks of us today. Well, this book, even though it's set in its own magical world, feels so relevant, right? It makes you think about how easily history can be forgotten or rewritten. Like the banana massacre, are we remembering our own histories correctly? And about solitude. Even with all our technology connecting us, do we still feel that deep Beyondia-style isolation sometimes? It asks us to look at patterns in our own lives and societies. Are we just repeating cycles, like the Beyondias? It's a timeless story asking timeless questions about memory, progress, love, and that inescapable human condition of searching for connection in a world that can often feel isolating. It really makes you reflect. Notice thoughtfully, looking directly at the camera. Alright everyone, and thank you Shisan for staying with me. That brings us to the end of our deep dive into the incredible world of 100 Years of Solitude. Wow! It's been such a journey exploring Mini-Koneko, the Beyondia family, the magic, the solitude, the love, and the history woven into this masterpiece. I really hope you enjoyed our discussion today. If you haven't read it yet, I absolutely wholeheartedly recommend picking up 100 Years of Solitude. It's an experience you won't forget. It truly changed my perspective on literature. Thank you all so much for watching, for your comments, and for sharing this time with me. As always, here on my channel, I love talking about books, sharing recommendations, and discussing stories like this one. If you enjoyed this stream, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment letting me know your thoughts on the book. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you again. I'll see you all in the next video or stream. Bye bye. Waves enthusiastically with both hands.